I got to wait for this thing to go. Okay. So have you guys ever been in the situation where you look at somebody and you're like, I could never do that. I could never be like that guy. I could never be like her. And you end up not doing anything because you think I could never be like that person. I'm sure we've all experienced that. And it's definitely super prevalent in network marketing, where you see people with incredible skills, so charismatic, the way they own the stage or the way they prospect and people clamor to them or whatever it is. And so I think this message right now, this morning, on a Saturday morning, is for either individuals that are newer, or those that are just stuck and they're paralyzed and they don't move because they're like, well, if I'm not good, I don't want to make a fool of myself, or, I'm not an expert, so I'm just not going to take any action. And so, and again, Instagram folks right there. What's up, you guys? So I got 2 cameras rolling this morning. So here's my advice to you. Okay. Uh, if, for example, you're incredibly skilled and you're smooth and I don't like the word slick, but you're just so polished, and you go out and give a presentation to someone, and let's say you were to manually do that presentation, like you sat down with somebody and you just, gave the presentation of a lifetime, like award-winning presentation. The person that's observing that presentation is thinking to themselves, I could never do this. Like, I'm not you, Todd. I'm not you, so-and-so. I could never do this. And so even as you give that presentation as a polished professional, the individual that's watching you is thinking that they can't do it themselves. And so I think it's better to, be vulnerable, and to, especially if you're new, instead of trying to act the pro and act like you got the skills when you don't yet possess the skills, I think it's a lot better for you to just be you and be you where you are. And in fact, I have a friend of mine. This is wild. So he did exceptionally well last year. He made over 800 grand in his business, in his network marketing business. And about, I don't know, a few months ago, I hopped on a Zoom with him, and he invited me to this private Zoom. And in this private Zoom, the entire Zoom was like people who were just getting on there and saying, oh, I made 4,200 last month. I made 800. I made 6,200. I made 11,500. And it was like 90 minutes, literally 90 minutes. I didn't stay for the whole 90 minutes, but it was 90 minutes of people just sharing how much they made the previous month. And these are like documented checks. Now, again, this is not a business opportunity presentation. This is a private Zoom. So, you can't be using your check. It would be cool if you could use your checks and presentations, but you can't do that anymore. And I called him back afterwards, and I was like, dude, like, I don't recognize a single person in there. Like, no, not one single solitary soul did I see somebody that I knew. And it's hard for me to be, in someone's presentation or training and not see a face or a name that I know, just based on how many years I've been doing this. And he's like, dude, he said, you're right. I literally don't have a single solitary network marketer on my team. And he goes, in fact, the woman that said 6,200 last month, he goes, that's my housekeeper. And I'm just like, I'm floored, right? And one of the things, because I wanted to see this guy's marketing system, and this blew me away. So he sends me his marketing system. I'm not going to show it to you, but it's on my desktop. He literally has people print out a script. Okay. And I don't have the script in front of me, but and when that individual calls their prospect, he has them say basically like, hey, John, look, I just started this business. I want to read this to you. And so the person on the other end knows that they're literally reading word for word with no changes, right? Every single word that's on the script. And what that does is it's getting the people into action when they're brand new on day one. And instead of them thinking, oh, well, I'm not this person or I'm not that person, because we've all probably done that at some point. You're like, oh my gosh, I remember I shared this story on a training that I did a couple days ago. I was at the Bonaventure Hotel in 1991 at a big event, and there was like 5,000 people at this event. This is very, very early on in my network marketing career. And my original mentor, who was as polished as they come, one probably, like, I've spoken with a lot of amazing speakers, educators, network marketers. This dude, even to this day, like, I think he's probably the best guy I've ever seen on the platform. And, so I've got, I'm looking up to this mentor, and this room is packed, and he put up every time I tell this story, I think about what I'm describing, and I actually have what I'm describing on video. So one of these days, I'm actually going to do it. I'm going to bring the video. I'm going to show it. But remember, this is 1991. This is a video of him giving a whiteboard presentation in 1986. So 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91. So this is 5 years prior. And he's up there and he's doing this presentation, drawing circles on the board. And I mean, it was a less than mediocre presentation at best. He had a big fat, like 80s tie on, kind of messed up teeth, not really good hair. Was not at all dynamic, like monotone. And the pens that he was using, because back in the day, like dry erase pens made a noise every time you touched it to the board. It made this squeaking sound. And I'm sitting there literally in the room, and I'm seeing the screen over here, and I'm looking at him on stage, and I'm going like this. And I'm just like, wait, that's the same guy. And it's only 5 years. And I thought to myself, in my mind, I was like, man, if that guy can go from there to there in 5 years, even if I do 10% as good as he does, I have a chance. And so too often I think people think that they need to be the pro, that they need to be the expert. I got to be the expert. And so instead, because they don't think they're good enough, they don't do anything at all. I think it's better for you to be vulnerable, real, straightforward with people. Say, look, David, look, I looked at this business. This is literally day one. You're the first person I'm talking to about this thing. I have no clue what the heck I'm doing, but I'd really love to show something to you. And I just want to read. I mean, you could do this. You could say, I just want to read something to you. If that's, if you were using kind of the same approach. I'm not saying you need to do that, or you can keep the approach very brief, or just, even if you screw up, it's totally okay. But if you're in your mind, like, especially for you perfectionist people, all of you people that are, I'm a perfectionist. The thing is, you're never going to be perfect. I mean, it's great to strive for perfection. It's great to strive to be better. And in fact, all of us should always be on a path to improvement. How can I get better? But to sit there and not take any action at all because you don't think you're good, I think is complete foolishness. So I don't know. I had that thought waking up this morning, and I just, after watching that guy Zoom and seeing all of these people that literally, and I went deeper in that conversation with him. He's like, none of them have ever done network marketing before. This many, zero, not one single solitary soul. And yet the amount of success that's being created in that guy's company with the system that he's using is just lights out. So again, I'm not saying don't work on getting better. You should absolutely, most assuredly, work on improving your skill sets. I'm doing it every day. In fact, as soon as I stop this Zoom, or not Zoom, I guess we're on live stream and live on Instagram. I'm going to go right back into study mode on some stuff that I'm working on. But also real quick, I also just yesterday released this brand new 11-part video training series. If you're on Instagram, you can click it just above you in my bio. It's totally free, no strings attached. And yeah, those 11 videos are designed to help you improve your skill sets, which ultimately will help you improve your results. And for those of you that are on X and Facebook and everywhere else, I'll give it to you. It's super easy. It's toddfalcone.com/go. So you can go there, TODDFALCONE.com /go. And I hope you go have a beautiful Saturday. And I'm going to go now. So we'll see you on the next live. Have a good one. We'll see you.